Hey, it's me again. Informal video, because I think we got the jobs kind of where we want them. And I figured I would go through and tell you guys about the jobs in the Video Writer TTRPG game, which we've been working on for a while now. We're getting a foundry system set up. It's getting there. I'm sure you guys, those of you who care, watch the Twitch streams, which I'm sorry the video quality's so shit, but Foundry it takes a lot of bandwidth, unfortunately. So it's sometimes bad, sometimes good. All depends. But yeah, so we have, in my opinion, unique jobs or classes in the game. Trying to vibrate real quick, and me and Pirate are pretty proud of them. We kind of put our own flair, military humor into it. And the most basic job is kind of like a military catch-all, the Veil Auxiliary. And this is the base infantryman of the game. So you start out with a bonus to rifles, ballistics, and demolitions. You can choose between a helmet or gas mask, a BDU or silkies, plate carrier or quad guard. You get a rifle. Then you can choose, besides your rifle, a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, more or less, or a belcher. And then you get a backpack, auxiliary kit, AFAX, health potion, mess kit, and rations. And this is more or less an assault class where you are, as the thing says here, built to destroy. So you attack buildings with advantage or vehicles with advantage when using an anti-vehicle weapon or grenade launcher, so you're able to attack positions a bit better. And then we went and added these kind of, I guess you call them feats for each class. And at level 3, you can choose between, give you a choice between more AP regen or more damage when you're doing attacks with your rocket launcher or whatever. Another choice is gain +2 to hit or gain more attribute bonuses. Then you get at level 7 something called Seasoned Infantryman, where it's kind of trying to simulate how you would react to fire. So when you are shot at or attacked at long range and you can see where it's coming from, you can attack that target outside your turn as long as you have the action points to do it. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to react and fire at a target if it's shooting at you, kind of in the same way we would in the army. You would react to fire and shoot at it and try and suppress it and try and gain fire superiority. It's locked in to just normal shots. You can't like do full auto, so it's balanced in a way. At level 9, you get +5 grit or defiant. Defiant is you get reduced AP costs when you're shooting at a vehicle, more or less. At level 12, you get +2 AP regen or urge for destruction, which is another anti-vehicle thing. And then level 15, you get a AP pull increase to 17, or you get 2 skill points. Breacher is a class that I find humorous because it's about breaking in through walls, through doors, through entryways, or making a hole when you need one. So this guy's going to use shotguns and hammers and explosives. He comes with a ladder, a pry bar, a door ram. You can see, I won't go through everything here at every class, but more or less, this guy's about shotguns, hammers, rams, pry bars, making holes where you need one. And of course, their big thing is just breaching. So at level 3, you can either increase the damage of your sledgehammer, or you can get what's called Sense Room, where you can more or less hear or kind of feel what's in a room roughly. Like if there's something inside there, if there's not. Level 6 is a simple attribute boost. At level 7, it's called Women Love Me, Doors Fear Me, where you get a whole bunch of attribute boosts and HP boosts. Level 9, you get Second Wind or Violent Breach. Second Wind is that when your turn begins, you roll a d6 and you can regen AP that way. Because according to a few other playtesters and guys who run these games, the Breachers run out AP fast and have problems recovering. So we went ahead and said level 9, you're able to kind of recover AP points a bit more consistently, because a lot of guys wear a lot of armor apparently, and armor penalizes AP regen. So this is kind of help you do stuff during your turn. Then there's Violent Breach. With Violent Breach, when you breach through a door or a wall or whatever hell you're bursting through, like the Kool-Aid Man, you're able to designate a target you can see as you breach and then strike that target as long as they're within 15 feet. So if you go through a door and you guys see there's a dude there within 15 feet, you automatically move towards them in the contact and then beat the shit out of them with whatever the hell you're holding. And that's kind of helping you get into the room or violently breach the room. Level 12, you can choose between increasing your shotgun range or the advantage on shotgun range, or percussionist, where you can dual wield two sledgehammers. You know, you can either improve your shotgun blast, or you have 2 giant fucking hammers. It's up to you. And then at level 15, it's simply a boost on demolitions. So Battle Buddy is a weird one. Most folks don't know the goal of a Battle Buddy. The Battle Buddy is the party booster in a way, because man, people keep calling me. Like, for instance, the main thing of a Battle Buddy is that you boost the attack rolls. Would you fuck off? Of all your party members, more or less. It's you help them hit their targets, help them do things. And unlike other classes, the Battle Buddy allows you to boost your skill point gains. So like level 3, level 6, you're getting +4 skill points, and it helps you maybe learn things or get things your party needs. Like maybe you need a better navigator, a better cook, a better, you know, whatever. You can kind of fill that role. And then there's Helping Hand, where, and also this is a great class for a what's the word, a non-violent person, you know, a conscientious objector, if you will, where Helping Hand, as long as someone asks you and you can basically help them reload their weapon. So say like, hey, reload me, and it's not your turn, you can still spend AP to reload their weapon and allow them to keep firing. So say you're trying to run like a pacifist character, you can kind of do that here and still help out your party, despite maybe not even doing any damage. You're simply helping them reload, helping them do things, which is kind of what this class is kind of all about. And then there's Always There, Battle Brother. Always There is a way to negate natural ones. And then Battle Buddy is a way to, let's see here. Yeah, so Battle Buddy is where if a party member within 30 feet is reduced to zero or negative HP, sorry, negative HP, always changing, you can more or less make an attack against that target. So there's a way for you to be a pacifist or an aggressive attacker with this role. The ability is there for you. And again, more or less, level 12, you get more SP, and then level 15 morale checks are reduced. So basically you slap your buddy. Chef is a very funny class. So Chef is, we didn't want you to just cook. We wanted you to do other things too. So we made the Chef class where more or less you're kind of a sleeper unit, where you're actually quite good in melee if you're using your cooking implements like chef knives or pans, as a big thing is. More or less with a chef, it's all about crafting and cooking. You have your secret herbs and spices, which help boost up your party's grit as well as their temporary HP. And then more or less level 3, you get an advantage when you attack with frying pans, blades, pots. That way you're not just a limp noodle in terms of getting ambushed or melee combat in general. Then there's I'm the Cook, or Hey, I'm Just a Cook. I'm the Cook is a offensive trait, I guess, that's kind of playing off the meme like I'm the Cook. And then there's Hey, I'm Just the Cook, which is where you're more or less going to avoid combat. Level 7, you gain Alluring Scent. So when you're cooking and you have a very large cooking check, you have the ability to generate a random encounter. So something smells your food and comes to visit, whether that's good or bad. You don't know, but it could definitely happen. Then at level 9 is something an attribute increase. Level 12, you gain either advantage at throwing knives or a trip to Flavor Town, in which it can actually increase your temp HP boost when you're cooking. Then level 14, there's Master Chef or combat rations, just mostly a flavorful party helpy thing. Radio Man is Radio Man. More or less, your job is to be a radio man. You help bring in supporting fire, artillery, mortar, rockets, aircraft. That's more or less your job. That's what they do. You support the party via off-site means. Like you can, like bringing the heat is where it more or less reduces the cost of you calling artillery. And then there's Buzz Ear, where you can kind of pick up on possibly friendly or enemy radio signals going around. So it's kind of an RP thing and kind of getting information kind of thing. And then you're able to carry on you're actually able to jerry rig your radio into a rucksack and carry it around, as long as it's non-vehicle sized. Broken Arrow allows you to call in more accurate artillery on your position. And more or less, it's a very simple class. You're about radios. You get information. You call in supporting fire. It's a very, very simple but rather important class if you're running scenarios where you have supporting fire, such as just mortars or what have you. Battlefield Forensics. This is my brainchild, and you're a detective. You are out there trying to find information via detective means, investigating, that kind of thing, asking questions. You have noir obsession, so you get an advantage on investigation rolls. So you're out there investigating, trying to find information, tracking things down. That's what this particular class does. Skin Crawl is where you kind of have a sixth sense and you can kind of tell when a combat's going to start. It can come in handy when you're, interrogating someone or you're in a meeting and it's going south. You get an RP advantage where you kind of go, something's not going to go right. It allows you to kind of to prepare for that combat encounter if it so comes. You get boost to cunning or perception, or lures curiosity. It gives you the ability to create fire with your hands. Not a lot of fire, but like a little fireball. And this is actually a fan submission because he, in his CC, went through a lot of RP where he wanted to have like a little bit of fireball on his fingers to light cigarettes, like dramatically. So like, that's pretty funny. So I put it into the actual game system. Target of Obsession is where at level 12, when you wake up, you put something at the forefront of your mind, and then you have a advantage when doing anything that involves that thing. So it allows you to more accurately track down a place, a person, an item, yada yada, more effectively. Helps kind of chew through the checks you might need to get there in the first place. And then Keen Mind. Keen Mind is a very derivative thing. I know every game has this kind of aspect. More or less, you're able to identify a weakness of a single target by visually, like kind of like how you would kind of Sherlock Holmes, like maybe he's allergic to bees or whatever have you. It's simply just a very basic in-game strat. We're like, he's weak to fire. Okay, now we know. It's a way for you to help your party live. Demolitions. This guy is different than Breacher because he's all about explosives. Breacher's a little bit of explosives. Demolitions is all about explosives, grenades, C4s, claymores, making your own explosives, all that shit. So, and about throwing them too. It's kind of like a grenadier hybrid, because it's about so the cost of throwing grenades is reduced. You get a boost of throwing skill. You have ability to pass grenade cooking checks. You're able to improvise explosives. You're able to throw explosives when you're being shot at because of reckless. You can create bundle bombs. It's just all about grenades. Picture Junkrat as a class. That's what you got. You got Junkrat. All about bombs, explosives, throwing them, making them. You're basically like the FBI's worst fucking nightmare as a class, really. Gambler, another one of mine. This is basically, I'm playing off basically like the Old West stereotype. Gamblers have a buff to sleight of hand and cunning. They start with a shotgun or a pistol. They have a lucky coin. They have a boosted sleight of hand or persuasion. They have the Born Gambler, which allows you to kind of risk generating more AP or losing AP. You gain Lady Luck, so more or less your death HP, instead of being half of your normal HP, is actually just your normal HP, but in the negative. So in this game, you're not knocked out. You simply have death HP, where once you hit a certain negative integer, which is usually half your main AP pool, is you die. So it allows you to actually do things while dying instead of being just knocked down on the ground, drooling over your face. And with the Gambler, you get your full HP and as death HP, so you're able to do more and maybe do something. It's a gamble, more or less. I'll be your Huckleberry allows you to wield 2 pistols. So again, old West stereotypes. I liked it. That's what I made it do, more or less. The guard is it's a guard. So a lot of people just want to play the guard, so I made the guard as a class. You have perception, grit, cunning, moxie. You have a choice of any melee weapon or a shotgun. You're able to sense things. You're able to kind of tell your, so basically level 6, you either increase your damage resistance or defensive rating, however you want to call the DR. It's called defensive rating in the game, but a lot of folks say damage resistance, but it's defensive rating in the game. Or shake it off, and shake it off allows you to kind of shake your party member out of it and give them kind of like a small HP heal, And then it's level 7 or something called get down, and get down allows you to get in the way of attacks to help defend party members. So you're kind of like doing a Mr. President get down kind of movement, and it allows you to kind of save the more vulnerable or more hurt party members as long as they're within range of you. Crack shot means you're able to fire into melees with all your bonuses, because usually if 2 people are in a melee, you get negative modifiers, but with a crack shot you don't really get that problem. You have a bullshit alarm, and bullshit alarm is one of the class features where if something's going on within 30 feet of you, you can kind of know what's going on. You kind of wake up when it happens. So it's kind of like a double guard duty. So say like the person on watch gets ambushed, you'll know innately because you can kind of tell when something's going on. Men-at-Arms is for the melee lovers of the game, because you get CQB bonuses, melee damage bonuses, defensive rating bonuses when wearing armor. You can pull people off of party members in melee. You have Master-at-Arms, Keen Strike, Stalwart Defender. You have Sweeping Strike. So as you do a melee strike, you can kind of hit more than one target and do damage. It's all about being in combat, getting into melee combat, just melee combat. The Men-at-Arms was to be stuck in to the melee combat and tying things up and just being an absolute pain in the ass to the enemy. Medic is obvious. This is your healer class, the main healer class or job, whatever you want to call it. And this is all about healing, keeping your party alive. But it's got a twist on it. It's got a little twist on it. So take this Motrin. You're able to use medical items at a discounted cost of action points. There's a level. Your first trait is at level 3, and you have Sprint of the Merciful or Experienced Field Medic. With the Sprint, you simply move faster towards wounded friendly targets. So wounded friendly targets. Oh, yeah, it is. Friendly wounded target. There it is. Okay, I was misreading. But yeah, so if there's a friendly wounded target within range of you, you're able to move faster towards that wounded target. So you can get there and heal it faster. Or you can choose Experienced Field Medic, which you heal an additional 6 HP. Really handy in the early game for sure. And then at level 7, you get It's a Messy Business. So in Messy Business, when you're doing like in-depth trauma field operations, more or less, with the trauma kit, you, instead of healing a certain amount, you heal your check. So say you roll a medical physical check and you roll a 30, they get 30 HP done off the bat. Herbologist allows you to make strong potions. It's a little filler gap skill, because people like health potions. Then there's level 11. This is where things get a bit different. Level 11, you have Last Stand or Heartbreak. At Last Stand, when you're attacking within 5 feet of a friendly target that has been reduced to 0 HP or is a negative health, you get an advantage on all attack rolls. So it's kind of like it is the Last Stand. You get a free, so we're like on Last Stand. Usually the party's almost all dead. You're trying to or dying, and the medic's the last one standing, and you're trying to kill all the targets to allow the party to heal. So your AP for reloading is free. You get plus 5 AP regen. This is the last stand of your party, more or less, and the last stand of the medic. It's a very thematic thing. And it's coming, and for what I hear and read, it comes in handy on quite a few games where things go horribly fucking wrong, and it's just a medic trying to stay alive. Now, usually it's kind of like a thematic RP thing where the medic goes down fighting, and then party wipes, or the medic can barely squeak out through a win and then try and heal folks up before they die. It's a really cool mechanic, in my opinion. Then there's Heartbreak. Heartbreak is if a friendly party member dies within line of sight to the medic, all action costs reduced to 1 AP. So basically, any action you can take is 1 AP. So you have one where it's more of an attacky thing, and one where it's more of a reducing damage and reducing more players dying. So both are good in my opinion, but both have their kind of slot they fit into, depending on how you're playing, what kind of character you're playing, your play style, what you want to do in the game, that kind of thing. Level 13, there's God blessings for medics. There's a blessing by Mirren and a blessing by Crinja. With Mirren, more or less, all healing done by you, both physical and spell-wise, gain additional plus 20 HP on top of what they heal for. And additionally, you can do the breakaway action. So more or less when you're engaged in melee, you're engaged. You have to break away in order to not keep getting whacked on. It's free for you. And when you break away, you get more free movement. So it's a very neutral, non-attacking blessing. Then there's a Crinja blessing. Blessed by Crinja, all friendly party members as well as a friendly entity are immune to the effects of fear. And then your weapons / magazine charges do frost damage. So it's kind of like a... If you're in a place or you notice like party members aren't really good... Like, if you have a low grit party, this comes in handy, because if you're low grit, it means you're not going to pass fear checks very well. This allows you to kind of negate that thing there. Plus, you do bonus damage when you're shooting things, that kind of stuff. The Negotiator is the Negotiator. Now, most folks think Negotiator is about market sense. It's about getting information. So you get the Finger Wrench, which means you can break fingers and get, or break fingers and reduce the grit of the target you're trying to interrogate. You get either usually Moxie bonuses or Intimidation bonuses or Persuasion bonuses. I Want Answers is your level 7 feat, which means you are now breaking fingers for -3 grit and -1 grit. You can detect lies, or you can intimidate creatures to not attack you. You can either... So I Want Them Alive is... So a lot of times you'll do too much damage in a combat or during a deal gone wrong, but you want something to live. You can say, I want them alive, and it will stabilize that NPC or creature so it won't just die. Or you can do, I want them dead, and I want them dead can more or less have a creature's health automatically. And then there's the Negotiator, which is a meme. It's a meme we all know. More or less, the Negotiator means the Negotiator can dual wield submachine guns. So like the Gambler can dual wield pistols, the Breacher can dual wield sledgehammers, this guy can dual wield submachine guns. EOD is Explosive Ordnance Disposal. This is your trap guy. So you can identify traps, you can disable traps, you can steal traps, and then you can be immune to effects of fear. If you see me running as a way to save bad checks. So it's not going to like save the bomb or the trap, but it allows you to move possibly further away from the epicenter of the explosion, more or less. The fresh maker is a thing where you are the bomb. So the fresh maker, you can strap a claymore or another directional destruction device on your chest, and you can more or less set it off and move a trap towards a target. And I know a lot of players are having fun with this and are pissing off their CCs. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Then there's Sob Touch. Sob Touch is an option you can take at level 12, which means that more or less you're going insane and you are immune to fear, and you cause fear. It's just it's actually partially a game design thing and partially an RP thing. So a lot of the folks who take Fresh Maker take Sob Touched. I'll say that much. There's Scout. Scouting is your ranger, your sniper, all kind of built into one. Very simple class. It's about being stealthy, perceiving things, hiding in ghillie suits, navigating, shooting things from a distance. It's a very standard class. You can mark targets for your party members. And I think the most unique thing is that a whispered name. So level 14, which is the higher echelon levels, you're able to immediately kill things. So it's mostly for targets lower on low HP wise to help speed up combat. But I believe it's 40 HP. So when a target of yours has 40 HP, you can do a whispered name and just knock it out real quick. Transporter, this is the driver. This is the Waz Ducka of your party. So off the gate, you get +5 to driving, piloting, and riding. You live fast, die faster. You have Crimson Devotion. You have Black Knuckles, means you're repairing stuff, mostly engines and vehicles. Mechanical, Modern Knowledge. You can go faster. You can have hidden hood guns. You can have hood. So basically, level 11 is where you either ram things or you can joust out of your vehicle. So there's a weapon called an Armor Breaker Lance, which is a shaped charge on a lance pole. And you, as a transporter, can have that jousting rod lean out your window and joust other vehicles as you drive by. It's just a fun class to me. If you want to be the driver of the party, this is your class. Gunner, machine guns. It's all about machine guns with the gunner. You can you get walks up and carry a big gun, so you can move while using LMGs. Running and gunning, LMG assault pack, Thunder of Brass and Steel. This is all about machine gunning, using machine guns, heavy machine guns, light machine guns, machine gun, machine gun, machine gun. This is your class. This is the machine gunner class. And it's all about machine gunning. And if you want to do machine guns, this is your class. Very simple. Technician is the guy who makes things, like technology-wise. He's able to break down technology, rebuild it, analyze technology. Is it a Nokia, Hacker Man, Eager Fingers, I Made a Thing? You're able to make things like an autoloader or a healing device, sensor device, that kind of stuff. It's all about making things. Technician, engineer, that's his class. Performer is the Sneaky Breaky class. So this is the class where you're going to be using almost no armor. You're going to be a performer in a way. You got All Eyes on Me, so you get advantage when singing or performing. Silver Tongue, so you're more persuasive. You have a Fox Amongst Wolves or Whirling Warrior. You have Secrets of the Silks, or you get bonus of movement. So this is your hidden abilities within your clothing because you don't have armor. You can do the Silent Kiss of Finitri. You can use certain weapons like bladed scarves or hidden weapons. This is basically your person who hides in the open and does stuff, and it's all about seducing, persuading with other means besides, damage. You have mostly hidden weapons. It's that kind of thing. The Brawler is the punchy boy. The Brawler is my favorite class to make because it's just such a fucking meme class. They're all about hand-to-hand. There's Let's Roll, so it allows you to grapple opponent with advantage. You have parry, then strike. So basically, when you parry an enemy or do the parry action, you immediately fucking strike them for free. So it's like a free riposte. You have a rocking hook, or you can dual wield a pistol and a melee weapon. You have pocket. You can choose pocket sand or more movement. You have duck and weave or born brawler. When duck and weave, when someone misses a melee attack on you, you can spend an AP and jab them for free. You have born brawler, which means it kind of grants you. It kind of grants you temporary HP during a bad situation. You have brawl brain, which is more or less berserk, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's more or less the classes. We thought they were distinct, original, unique. I don't know. But yeah, so this is kind of where we have them for now. We're probably going to stay for a bit. Of course, everything's subject to change because we do work on the book as things come in for balancing or what have you, or adjusting. But these are our jobs or our classes that you can play as Easy Light in the Veil Rider tabletop RPG game. And yeah, we hope you guys try them out. If you do try these out with if you and your guys are playing a game and you want to give me feedback, all you gotta do is send me an email or just DM me on Discord as everyone else does, and just tell me your thoughts or your feedback, or tell me funny stories from your campaigns or your one shots, or for you playing a particular character. And yeah, and we should have an actual Foundry system set up here soon. Not a very fancy one, but it's a functioning one. And yeah, until I see you guys next time on this side of the veil, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.